Hello and welcome to BeamNG.drive. Today I'm back on my track to run 5 more vehicles. The first is the Oldsmobile Delta 88. It is a bit of a controversial vehicle, let's say, that was very nice lag, thanks game, because this is not available on the forum anymore as far as I know, because the creator had a fight in the thread with some people that complained about some minor details on this vehicle that were not okay. And the discussion escalated and it ended with the removal of the mod from the download options. Anyway, I'm sad because I really like this vehicle, but now let's focus on the lap because this is a very difficult configuration to drive. It has a lot of power. It is very cool looking. It is the Land Yacht from Hell. I really like the paint job. And it has a lot of power, but the brakes are terrible because at the top speed section I have to brake before the checkpoint if I don't want to fall off the track, and even braking early I was a bit late, so that's difficult. Also, the wheel spin while climbing, I had to manage it. Now let's see the ribbons, no problems, but it has most of the time oversteering because it's a very powerful rear-wheel drive, but sometimes it has a very annoying understeer and you are yanking the steering wheel and it suddenly converts into oversteer and you spin. That's not nice. Now the 0G drop did cause some understeer. Now this understeering corner is very tricky for this car. All the time understeering through that section, it is not nice. The jump shouldn't be a problem with these suspensions. Now here let's brake a little bit more because some airtime is good, too much is not good. Now here again a lot of braking is necessary and I have to keep under control the oversteer and the understeer at the same time because this section is even worse than the understeer corner. This one, oof, it's very difficult. As you can see, it understeers and then suddenly it wants to spin. And now let's go full throttle towards the finish line. Time is nice. The second vehicle is the Peugeot 205 GTI, the very iconic Peugeot hatchback. It is front-wheel drive, but it's still a lot more nimble and agile than you would expect. The power, however, it's not that much, considering all, but it's still pretty nice to drive. Now, this vehicle features also the yellow headlights. I really love the detail of that. I really love yellow headlights. So, very nice thumb up for France for that period to make these yellow headlights, and that was on the limit of the airtime for that corkscrew section. And now let's see the cylinders. I shouldn't have too much issues. Okay, that's nice. Maybe I could have done it 3-4 kilometers per hour faster, but that was still good. Now let's see the top speed of this run is 143 kilometers per hour. Maybe I could have done a bit more again, but I'm still satisfied with it, and the climb is very nice, even with wheel spinning a lot. Now not the corkscrew, the ribbons easy. This climb before the ring corner easy again. Now here I can hug the inside corner, so you can see that the inside line, sorry, you can see that the understeer on this car is not a killer for this vehicle, which is a thing that I really like. I can manage a bit of understeer, but too much is a killer, and on this vehicle is perfectly balanced. I really like it. Let's see the jump, perfect. Now here I want to brake, of course, as always. I don't want to fly over and even hit the roof. Sometimes it happened. I cut it, but sometimes it happens. And the snake is probably the hardest part for this car because, yes, it doesn't have a killer understeer, but it's still there, the understeer. It's a front-wheel drive, so it is understandable. Luckily, it's light, so it doesn't have too much weight to shift around, and as you can see, a bit of understeer, but it can still make the shortest line. The third vehicle, the Brackle 9 Hot Beams Custom, is running on the track. It's a very difficult vehicle to drive. It is a difficulty you can learn to handle, because it has a twitchy behavior, but it's still handle. You can tame it. Yes, okay. probably the factor of the wheels is the only thing that makes this car drivable, because they are slicks. But anyway, I'm already struggling to speak, and I want to try to focus on the lap, because this vehicle requires a lot of brain usage, and my brain is small. Let's see the top speed. 195 top speed, which is very fast, probably one of the fastest on this track. And now, if I take the ribbons nicely, I'm okay. If this car goes just out of line, it brakes. Why? Because it has very exposed wheels, especially on the front, and as soon as you get airtime and land just a little bit wrong, the wheels break. So that's not what you want. Anyway, a lot of understeer this time, not good. And now I have a good line for the bump, because the bump is very upsetting. Now here, some airtime. Okay, it took the oil pan, but here let's brake, because this section here, I lost a lot of time, control of the car on the landing, and I broke side front wheels. And I'm at the snake, some understeer, but whoa, and snappy oversteer all of a sudden, which is not nice. The bump, let's do it good, and towards the finish, okay, all the time. Wow! And now it's time for the ETK I-Series 3000 iX. This isn't the first the first I-Series that drives on this track. The first was the drift version, which isn't a proper everyday vehicle like this. This is a nice drive, especially after the Brackle 9 that I just used, because that vehicle required a lot of brain usage by me. So now my brain is in shut-off mode. I'm driving this car, it's chilly, it's your friend. It doesn't want to kill you, just like the 9 wanted to. Because I know that car wanted to kill me. I did a lot of tries. And this is just a nice all-around vehicle with a top speed of 143 km per hour, which is respectable. It wasn't the slowest, it was around the same top speed of the 205, if I'm correct, because now I don't remember it. I did a lot of laps with the 9 that my brain forgot everything that happened before. So now I'm just here trying to recover psychologically. Hopefully the lap will be with a good time. I don't think this can beat the drift version, because the drift had a lot of power but handling issues, while this is very good handling but not too much power. But I needed it a lot. So, because for example here I don't even need to brake, I can get all this airtime, no problems. If I did this with the 9 wheels, front wheels, absolutely destroyed, and attempt gone. So, and it happened a lot of times. Now here the snake, no issues except some understeer, which is not nice. The bump did give a little bit of help with the understeer, and towards the finish line. Respectable. The final vehicle for today is the Autobello Aria 150 Corse. This vehicle is very similar to the 205 GTI that I ran 3 vehicles ago, because they are both front-wheel drive, very small and quite agile. This is even smaller and lighter, so the braking distance with this car is very low, as you can see. I didn't have to brake too much, but also because it doesn't have too much power. Also, since this is a bit sportier configuration, it's probably better equipped, like for example with the brakes, but it has a very good advantage, and it's the dimensions. It is very small. Oh, that was very foolish by me, sorry. And 135 top speed wasn't the best I reached, but that was a silly mistake. But the climb was at least very good. Let's see the ribbons. And I was saying that the advantage of this car is the dimensions, because I could carry a bit more speed through the cylinders like for example also the ETK I-Series, because that's a big vehicle compared to this. This can fit way better and easier to the cylinders. But anyway, let's see how it will finish the lap. To the zigzag, absolutely perfectly line. The understeer corner I just lifted for a moment and that was perfect. Let's see the jump, because the bump didn't do issues. Perfect. Now here a touch on the brakes. Okay, very leveled flight, which is what you want if you get airtime. Okay, now that was unusual. It had a nice, an unusual positioning, not positioning. Anyway, it was good. Let's see the bump on the final corner of the snake, it's very helpful, and the time, yeah, comparable to the others. The results are in, and let's take a look at the new leaderboard, because the Bracol 9 Hot Beams Custom with the time of 1 minute 50 seconds and 878 claims the second position in the leaderboard. It is incredible, almost unbelievable, because it was a vehicle that wanted to kill me at every moment, and it's still able to reach the second position in the leaderboard. So, unbelievable. And it is also faster than the Matiz Race, the vehicle that I thought it would be the fastest for a long time. So, wow, extremely nice performance from the 9. We go a bit lower to find the Oldsmobile Delta 88 Land Yachts from L in position 21, with the time of 2 minutes 7 seconds and 320. And right after that, in position 22, the Autobello Aria 150 Corse, with the time of 2 minutes 7 seconds and 703. So not even 4/10 of difference between these two. And they are two extremely different vehicles, so that's nice. In position 28 we then find the ETK I-Series 3000 IX with 2 minutes 8 seconds and 501. I like that between the Aria and the I-Series there are 8/10 of a second and 5 vehicles in between. It's a very tight competition, I really like it. And last for this episode is the Peugeot 205 GTI in position 31 with the time of 2 minutes 10 seconds and 860. I did expect the 205 to be at least third, so the last is a little bit disappointing for me, but just my opinion. But all these vehicles were nice. I really liked the competition, except from the 9 that is very fast. All the other 4 were very similar in time, even if the vehicles are extremely different. So I really love that this is the result I wanted, and I was able to get it. So that's why the series exists. But if you consider the 205 is the last for this episode, it's still in position 31, and the last is position 66. So all these 5 vehicles are in the first half of the leaderboard. So a very nice, very good performance from all of them. Anyway, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.